coming to you from North Comic Con. I have a legend right here, and if you don't know who this man is, I guarantee you will appreciate him by the end of this interview. Tell him who you are.
My name is M.W. Bennett. Some know me as Mahess, and my company is called Dark Truth Imaginations. And basically, it's a business that incorporates all types of different medias, whether it's animation, illustration, cartooning, storytelling. I have 2 novels out. It's called Sunjata Saga, Sunjata Saga. Go on sunjatasaga.com and you can check it out. I'm pretty much incorporating different types of images of us. As you can see, that brings forth spirituality mixed with technology. I have a whole slew of characters and mythology. I created my own mythology, and you'll love it.
Now that's very creative. What has been your history in the comic brand or media?
First, in the 90s, I used to work for Milestone Media. Some of you may know Static Shock. I was a production assistant. I went from intern to production assistant, and I was editor's assistant. And you might know Icon, you might know Blood Syndicate. So I worked with them, and I learned a lot of the comic industry from there.
Now, that's big for me because personally, as a fan, I got introduced to Milestone Media from the Black Expos back in New York a long time ago. And I actually have those books autographed by Dwayne McDuffie and the people who did them.
Yeah, rest in peace.
That's right. So that's very big for me. And I love the fact that we had comic book characters, but unfortunately they fell back to the wayside.
Right.
So I think it's very good that you're doing these characters. Coming up in this industry, what keeps you going to push that medium for the people that's out here today?
Because I don't see enough. I mean, though we starting to see a little change, we starting to see some stuff come up, I'm not seeing enough of what I want to see. A lot of times when you see African-American characters, they're one-dimensional. They're very stereotypical. You know, they used to come from, from the streets or from prison. You know, my life, my personal life, I didn't come from that life. So I want to show that there's other sides of us. You know, I'm not seeing enough of it. So I want to show that we can be artists, because my main character, though he's a martial artist, he's also a sculptor, he's an artist, he's a vegan. You know, you don't see these types of things. You don't hear about our characters being teachers, being instructors, positive. You know, they don't eat meat. You know, you just see it's always negative. It's the same thing. So I want to show something different.
So here's a question I ask all creators of lines. It's always important to have your voice represented not only by your face, but by your tone.
Right.
What is the tone of your work, and where do you want to see it go?
That's a good question. The tone is very, again, I focus on spirituality. All right. You know, a lot of characters get their powers from accidents, scientific accidents. They get their powers from, somebody that's gave it to them, through some type of experiment or something like that. But mine, they actually incorporate it's something called intervention. It's taking your body and taking spirituality and energy and making your body become a weapon. So they gain their powers through their own spiritual powers, the spiritual manifestation and practice. So they take that and incorporate it and bring it. So the tone of my stories are definitely spirituality meets intellect meets science and technology.
I have another question for you, because that was very interesting. In Heritage Hip Hop, we celebrate the entire hip hop culture. So it's not just beats and rhymes, it's also art. It's also entrepreneurialism. And one question I like to ask is, does God exist in hip hop? And we've been given the 5%, so that's what New York hip hop was basically built off of. And we have some Christian rap out there.
Right.
Now, spirituality is something that's very broad.
Yes.
So, what aspect of spirituality do you capture in your work?
Well, it's being in tune with nature. All right, nature is all around us. Whatever your belief system is, if you are a Christian, if you are a Muslim, if you're a Jewish, if you're an atheist, there's spirituality in atheism. Basically, believing in something, and even believing in nothing is a belief in itself. And understand, even if you believe in science, that's a belief that you can manifest through whatever ability that you're doing, whatever studies you're doing. So I take that and I incorporate all of that. Whether I deal with science, I deal with spirituality, I deal with beliefs, and I incorporate that in such a way that you cannot deny what we're dealing with. We're dealing with true manifestation of that belief system.
And I love it. So we at Heritage Hip Hop are going to support. So once again, can you tell us what your line is and how to get in contact to buy it?
Okay, www.sunjatasaga.com. SUNJATASAGA.com is my website. You can find me on Facebook, Mahess, MAHESS, at Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Once you go to my website, there's all my links to my other links. So go to my website. On the bottom, you'll see the little clicks. Catch me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, all that. So I'm definitely on the net.
All right, everybody. Like I said, support.
Appreciate it.
And build your spirit, not only your library.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.